I sincerely thank organizers for NatCon 2021. I'm going to speak upon what all be the challenges of setting up a cancer center in a tier 2 city. Greetings from Redon Cancer Center, a comprehensive cancer facility. I've set it up way back in 2018. Cancer care at a tier 2 city currently is in a bits and a pieces. It is being done in a nursing homes, a multi-specialty hospitals, and very few comprehensive cancer facilities are presently available in a tier 2 city. But in a coming decade, I would like to probably will see many more comprehensive cancer hospitals will come up like mushrooms across India in lots of tier 2 cities. Why comprehensive cancer hospital? It provides the focused care, it produces the best oncological outcomes, it gives a mileage who come up with a comprehensive cancer facility, they become leaders in the city. For planning a cancer center, we need to prepare a detailed project report, which involves capturing the investment, capturing the revenue generation. Second thing, we need to have an investment plan. We need to have a plan for project execution and as well as a operation. Just quickly, I'll run through where we get the challenges, especially in a project estimation. There'll be a cost escalation as the project progresses. We start seeing there will be a shortage of funds. So why it happens? Because of two reasons. One is a missed cost. We missed certain plants, certain buildings, certain machinery parts during the planning part. When you miss out, then we are not planned for it. At the end of the project or in between the project, we see that these are the additional expenses. So these are a missed cost. Second thing is an unforeseen cost. Unforeseen costs are the one which we never thought of. We are not missed in our project report, they are there, but unfortunately, such costs do come. For example, when a few years back, government took a stand or there was a change in the policy in the government, what happens, custom duty has changed from 11% to 23% for all the imported medical goods. And second important change, what happened is government taxation, it moved from VAT to GST. The VAT used to be 6% and the GST is 12 to 18%. That suddenly becomes an unforeseen cost. So these cost escalations do happen in a project. One need to be ready how we can bring in those additional funding. Funding challenges would like to put, majority of these cancer hospitals require a high capital investment. We need to bring in the funds as equity by directors and the shareholders. Second thing, we bring in the funds as a loan, as a debt from the banks or a financial institution. To get the good amount of funding from the financial institution and banks, we need to be good at our net worths. We should be good taxpayers. We need to be having a good credit ratings of our own. So that will help us to get the loan early. But lots of processes are there. Rather than approaching the one bank, better approach 2 or 3 banks. If a one bank denies, parallelly you approach another bank may come forward to give the funding. So never rely on a single bank at a given point of time. Apart from that, as our promoters, we need to know that we need to be ready with the collateral securities. We should be ready for a personal guarantee. These are two important things any financial institution will seek for it. Coming to the building, what will be the challenges? One needs to know that we need to have all the statutory clearances beforehand. In a hospital or a cancer hospital, we have around 20 statutory permissions need to be there. We should work hard to see that these statutory permissions should be there in our hand. As soon as we start the building, we should have a building permission in hand as well as a ERP permission. If without those two things, we start the project will halt in between. Hence, it's very important all statutory clearances should be in our hand. Second thing, hiring the human resources. We need to have the best consultants, better hire a good architect along with the other consultants like a fire consultant, air conditioning consultant, electrical consultant, medical gas pipeline consultant. These are the important consultants who will help us developing plans giving us the drawings and ensuring that they prepare the tender papers to get the best contractors and the builders. Again, identifying the best contractors and builders is very, very important. We need to understand what are their capabilities, what all the previous records they have they built this kind of the similar hospital in the past, whether they have done a quality buildings, all these things one needs to see. Apart from these two, another important human resources is project management consultancy. Why project management consultancies is important? Because a simple engineer who has done a home project or something will be not capable of executing these projects in a timely manner. Time is the essence in these projects. One need to be very, very sure about the project completes in time. To complete the project, we need a project management consultancy. They are going to be the pillar who will be in the center, who will be coordinating with the consultant on one side, builders and contractors on the other side. Third thing, they'll be coordinating with the clients or promoters. So these three human resources are very, very important. We need to have a parallel planning. Any one plan fails, we should have a backup plan. Second thing is a cost vetting. Following a tender papers are prepared, consultant prepare the cost involved in it, it should be better vetted by the project management consultancy. That saves some money. Fourth important thing is building the bunker radiation facility. One needs a builder, your architect, structural consultant should know that how the bunker should be built. They should have a complete knowledge of building the bunker. Otherwise, we end up in a trouble. Another important aspect of building a cancer hospital is planning plants and machineries. We have a non-medical plants, we have a medical equipments. Non-medical plants need to be captured before starting the project itself, because all these non-medical plants need to be incorporated during the process of a construction. One need to be ready, get the quotes, get the best suppliers, negotiate the best rates, ensure that you get a quality equipment at the right price. Similarly, medical equipment planning should start pretty early. As soon as the construction begins, one should plan medical equipments. Why I'm telling the medical equipment planning should start early is we get an ample time to get the best quotes, get the best suppliers, then probably you will be able to negotiate better for better quality at the right price. To get the right price, you need to have several rounds of negotiation. So here, many of us falter is we think that once the building is complete, we'll start looking at the medical equipments, we'll have a shortage of a time. In that shortage of a time, probably we cough out lots of money. So one need to plan medical equipment planning pretty early. Just quickly, I would like to tell about the installation of a linear accelerator, the physical installation, then beam data capturing. These are two important parts in an installation of the linear accelerator. What happens in a linear accelerator? It comes in a 32 pieces. And there are heavy equipments. These equipment cannot be passed through the stairs or through the lift. These require to be transferred through the either an open wall or an open roof. So usually majority of our bunkers are situated in the basement. Better leave 4 meter by 4 meter opening in the ground floor slab, where you drop all these equipments with a crane to the basement where physical installation takes place. You need to plan pretty early with the supplier, the engineer to be assigned. He should come in time and ensure that he installs the machine in the right time. Usually the installation, physical installation takes around 2 months time. Apart from that, next is after the physical installation gets over, it is capturing the beam data. Usually the physicists should do that job. A single physicist working for 8 hours, it takes almost 3.5 to 4 months to completely capture all the beam data. But if you assign a 2 medical physicists working 16 hours per day, and they'll be able to capture the beam data in 1.5 to 2 months, that's going to save your time. So once the beam data is captured, that should be sent to the company. Company will vet that beam data is right. Then they'll give the green signal. Then you send all these beam data back to AERB for a final approval. Then AERB will look into beam data. If it is adequate, then they'll give a signal that you can treat the patient. So installation of the linear accelerator, instead of taking it 6 months, if you reduce it by 2 months, so before 2 months only, means your revenue will start. That's very important, how you can shorten the installation process. Key factors to reduce the challenges are taking the right human resources, like a good project management consultancy, hiring the consultant professionals is very important. And finally, the promoter's commitment is very, very important in a project execution in a timely manner. Just quickly, I would like to say that current scenario of the cancer care is little less conducive. Why? Because government schemes and policies have a low tariff rate, shrunken profit margins, delayed payments, payment defaults are there. Unfortunately, last several years, we have seen there is a rise in the custom duties, rise in the GST, and unfortunately, even the third parties started reducing their tariff rates, which we need to keep in mind. Keeping all this in mind, we need to develop our own business model. As an entrepreneur, as a surgeon, if I would like to set up a cancer hospital in a tier 2 city, I need to understand what is the kind of a geographical location, what is the affordability of that population, and how much of the cancer burden in the city it is there, and how many of them are affording in a private care, or how many of them are for the government schemes. If majority of my patients are coming from the government schemes, then better I think of a low cost asset model. Suppose my patient load or the market share of the cancer patient is very affording, they can afford the best treatment, they look forward for a specific value proposition, then you think of a high cost asset model. Both will work, but one need to know that what kind of a population I'm going to cater. So anyway, setting up a cancer hospital is a capital intensive. It's a riskier proposal, but we should be ready for a free fall like a bungee jumping, but definitely will float. Just would like to just share the quote of Bob Higgins. He is a venture capitalist from a founder Highland Capital Partners. What he says is, I think historically where we as a venture capitalist fail is when we back a technology. Where we succeed is when we back a new business model. So keeping all these in mind, hope this talk give us some perspective, some insight, what challenges may come across, how to be dealt with them. Thank you one and all for your kind attention. Thank you.